I'm John Havens. I'm Vice President of Social Media for Porter Novelli here in New York City. We're at the Web 2.0 Expo at the Javits Center. We just finished 2 sessions on augmented reality and the semantic web at the Web 2 Open, the unconference portion of Web 2.0 Expo.
Lynne D. Johnson, as he said. John wrote a book called Tactical Transparency. I wrote the foreword for that book, right? And currently I'm the SVP of social media for the Advertising Research Foundation. I was formerly a senior editor, community director for Fast Company's website. And I'm here because we're talking about augmented reality, and John knows that at Fast Company we had been covering it for a while, and now looking at ways of looking at the implications of advertising and marketing in the augmented reality space.
So, Lynn, during our session, which we filmed, we'll put up online later, and you can find out about all this at going to my blog at tacticaltransparency.com, the word tacticaltransparency.com. But you showed the Esquire magazine, the one from this month that's got all these different AR applications. So can you talk both from a publishing or magazine or more from a business advertising slant, why you think this is so important?
It's important, one, because magazines are dying, right? So magazines are looking for ways to keep the consumer interested, right, and keep the consumer involved with the brand. And I think this AR application, they have Robert Downey Jr. jumping around. Like, I didn't show that part of it, what they did with the stories. Just gets the consumer more involved with the magazine, and it makes that price that you pay for that print publication a little more worth it, right? But I'm sure they had to get the sponsorship of Lexus behind it. I don't know the full story yet. I'm going to have to check out the case study. There is on creativityonline.com, there is a video of the publisher talking about their whole experience with doing this and why they did it. So it's definitely great for magazines dying, wanting to save themselves, not just looking at social media and mobile, but now also looking at augmented reality. For the advertising industry, the implications are great, just as great as social media was for the advertising industry. You have a great brand narrative, you provide a great brand experience, boom, you build a great relationship with the consumer, and it goes a long way to them wanting to invest in you and to continue the relationship with you. If I have a great experience, well, I can hold this up and I see what it's like to drive a Lexus, you bet I'm going to test drive that Lexus now. I don't know that I can personally afford a Lexus, but I'm going to the Lexus dealer pretty soon to check that out, especially that infrared technology. And I don't think from a print ad I would have experienced it the same way. And even from a television ad, they would just show it to me. Here in this augmented reality ad, it was almost like I was living in the ad. I was living and breathing in the ad, in the car, right, in the product. So, and I also show the example of at the point of sale. So the implications there at point of sale is like, you get someone to buy right on the spot just by giving them a great experience at the point of sale. Not everyone is on the bandwagon with this yet. We've got a ways to go. And as someone brought up a great question about standards, because you're going to have, 25 augmented reality apps. Best Buy is going to have one, and Amazon has one already, and Walmart will probably have. It's going to get crazy after a while, so going to have to figure out a way to reel that all in. Not there yet, definitely.
Well, just to expand quickly in terms of point of sale, I mean, the Esquire magazine you use with a webcam, another major application for augmented reality is mobile augmented reality. So either by an iPhone or an Android phone. Long story short, a lot of phones in the near future, smartphones, you won't know what it's called. You'll just press the button and be able to interact. And so, for example, in a store, Coca-Cola is already doing something like this on the side of the can, from my understanding. You can hold it up, put your mobile phone in front of the can, and either a video or some kind of digital interface pops up, you press it, and you can read, where they got the product, CSR messages, et cetera. So can you talk just quickly about mobile?
Oh, okay. In the mobile space, wow, it's crazy. I mean, I think in the panel there we talked about Layer, right? I've used Layer from Layar, not ER, from Amsterdam, that company. And it's like, if I'm in the middle of Manhattan, I hold up the phone, the Layer, and it tells me where the Starbucks is. It tells me where the McDonald's is. It tells me. I mean, just for local, for GPS, you turn on your GPS. You have to turn on your GPS or your compass or whatever. And you get all of this information. So for local advertisers, think about the benefits. I mean, even just tying in something like Foursquare or Bright Kite, to something like this AR. Right now, Foursquare is just a simple, you're at a location, you check in. Right now, the merchants are sometimes giving away coupons and so on to people who actually use Foursquare. But think about how much further that can go if you apply a layer or an augmented reality application over it. And beyond that, then I can also know that John is at the bar that I'm about to go to, right? And I know John's going to be there. And then when we talk about once I get there, if I forget stuff about you, right, we're coming to the point where I can hold the phone over you and remember everything I need to know about you. So where we're moving, it's wonderful, but it's also scary. You did bring up about the privacy issues, and there are going to be a lot of privacy issues for us to deal with.
Well, last question. Where are the best URLs for people to find you? Twitter? Where can people know more about you and your work?
Okay. To find me, you can just go to lynnedjohnson.com. That's LYNNED, Johnson with an H.com. My website is up. I haven't blogged as much as I should in a while because I was working at Fast Company and blogging there under the blog called Digital Media Diva, if you want to check that one out. But I'm also on Twitter at Lynne Luva. Some people say Luva. Let me spell it. LYNNELUVAH. And if you just search LYNNED Johnson, you can find everything. You can find interviews that John has done with me before, as well as Chris Brogan, who I just saw a minute ago here.